Hey guys, how y'all doing today? It's Thomas. I'm doing a stream today, a live stream, and haven't did one of these in a while. I'm using my Mac, and I'm trying to do all this, but for the last couple of weeks, I've been very busy. I've been well, my son he's been graduating from high school, and there was a lot of things going on in the house that we had to be going to, you know, make sure things are happening, making sure that we can do this to do that and that and this and of course, and things happen. We try to have a schedule which works. You got to have a schedule. You got to have a calendar. Believe me, that works out because it helps to keep everybody on the same page. So that hopefully nothing gets lost. You got to have communication in the family. Men, I know we like flying by the pants sometimes, but believe me, organization works. My wife wants you to be, okay, you want me to be organized all the time. And I'm like, you know, but now I see why. Because if you organize, things fall into place, less headaches, and it works out. So I'm trying to get myself into that mode, and the Bible wants us to be organized, okay? Because we're in a world where everything is craziness, and the Bible wants things organized. So, pardon me, but that's what I'm trying to get myself into to be a little bit more organized, so that um, there's less rhyme or reason to my life. Trying to get it much more organized. So for the last 3 weeks, we have been going around, and and it definitely does help to have some type of organization where we can find out where we're doing and what's going on, and for the last 3 weeks, we have been doing all of that. The good thing is that it's over. The bad thing is that it's over. Okay. So my son he finally graduated from high school, and that's a big transition for him. And he's an African American male, and I'm an African American male now. And I've been there, done that, and got the T-shirt too, and the certificate also. And he was happy, and I'm happy. My wife's happy, family's happy. That's good. It's a big achievement. So I was very happy that this whole thing did work out for him, and through the grace of God, and through his leadership, and with some help. I'm not going to say I did it all by myself. No, I had help from my wife. I had help from my family. I had help from the school. Everybody needs a little help sometime. During when COVID was going on, I had to ask for help because I wasn't working, and so the school, he's going to private school, and they chipped. I said, don't worry about the last 2 months because everybody's stuff is jacked up, so we didn't have to pay the last 2 months of the COVID year in 2020, which was a blessing because there was a lot of people couldn't do it. I'm serious. And to this day, I'm appreciative for what they did for me and for our family. And the school they went to, it's a Catholic school, and it's one of the best schools in Baltimore. And I'm very very happy with it. And so I'm very appreciative, like I said before, and like I said, through the grace of God, thank you. So we've been going through this. We had like a little party and that kind of thing, but um, we had to do this baccalaureate thing, which was we had to go to the local church of the we're practicing Baptists, but this is a Catholic church, and they had a ceremony called the baccalaureate, which was really really nice. It was broadcast on the internet because this school has a lot of history because a lot of people that went there, and during graduation, I found out that there was a young man who had 5 generations of fathers to go through that school, dating back to 1875. 5 generations went to that school. Can you imagine that? 5 generations of boys have went to that school. I'm like, wow, that's a lineage. But the thing is, for African Americans, we didn't have that privilege until later on. Had it been, maybe that could have happened for us, but it wasn't at the time because of, what was going on. And I'm not going to mention it, but we're making inroads now, and there are lots of black graduates from that school now, and they do have a black student union, but it's still a very good education as opposed to public school. Uh, there in our neighborhood, there are 2 public schools, and there's a public school that I could have went to when I was in that age bracket. I didn't go to. I went to another school, but it was still public school. But in Baltimore City, uh, the education has fallen off, and it's not good. It's not good, and I would advocate for you. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but if I were you, hopefully you can have a conversation with your wife or your husband or whoever, and get your children out of public schools as fast as you can, because public school is it's a cesspool. They try to politically indoctrinate your kids. They will try to introduce certain uh, risk behaviors, which I don't approve of. Plus, there's the opportunity that there might be shootings on campus. A couple months ago, there was a young man who lost his life going to one of those schools that is in the neighborhood, and there was an altercation, and he ended up dying. The problem was that he was he was in a situation where he shouldn't have been at. He was off campus, across the street, um, at a restaurant, a fast food restaurant, and something went down, and a couple people got shot, and he ended up losing his life. But the thing is that he should have been off campus in the first place. Um, you know, but I understand why you went off campus, but you're not supposed to be off campus. When I was in high school, I went off campus because they didn't have the food that I wanted. But I wasn't going to be over there with a whole bunch of people. I wasn't going to be trying to draw attention to myself. No, I would go out and catch the bus and go to the local shop real quickly and come back up within an hour, hour and a half, and then go back into school. But I'm not going to be with a crowd, which was going to they were a crowd and that kind of thing, and we're talking late, no, we're talking early '80s. Okay, um, there's still drugs around, but in order for you to have drugs, you had to have money. If you didn't have any money and weren't a stick-up kid, well, that means that you're out. And so that was pretty much me. I didn't have any money, and had bus fare, and had I had bus tickets. So, you know, I made it happen that way. But going back, um, but advocating for your children, I would say if you can, stay away from public schools. Do the same, and as an African American, um, I'm gonna call bull crap on a Barack Obama. Don't listen to a word that fool has to say. Talking about public schools and how public school is the best thing for us. When he was in office, he took his ass and his children to Sidwell Friends School, which is an uppity school in Montgomery County, I believe, it's in Montgomery County, and I think the tuition was something like 30,000 a year. He had 2 children, so that was $60,000 a year he was paying. and they were had a chef prepare their meals, and he could have sent his child to DC public schools and saved himself $60K, but he didn't do that. No, he had to go to Sidwell Friend, where the other upper crust went to, the doctors and the lawyers went to, and then he gonna still come out of his mouth saying, "You need to put your kids in the public schools." Okay, all right, sucker. I know what you're talking about. You talking out of both sides of your mouth. You can't have it both ways, Barack. No, no. So if you can, get your kids into private school if you can. I don't know what your financial situation is, but it's a far better situation, and education is is good. One thing that I've learned in my old age now, that my parents were right. It depends on who the people who you're hanging out with, and so if you're hanging around with a bunch of bums, you're gonna turn into a bunch of bums. You're just gonna be a bum. You know. So if you can, move them out to a location where everything is good. Okay. Now, going back to my son's graduation. The graduation was really good, and he had a really good time with it, and I said that enjoy yourself, and it was a good service, and it was broadcast on the internet, and my sisters, they got a chance to see it, and other family members who lived in other cities, they had a chance to see it as well. But one thing that I want to say to all the graduates out there, and for graduation, I remember my senior graduation back when I graduated in '80, but I remember graduation when I graduated from college, and one of them was the former commissioner of baseball. It was um, just drew a blank. Peter Uberoff. He was the former baseball commissioner for the Major League Baseball, and he came to speak at our graduation at the University of Maryland College Park. And one thing that he said was to make sure you know what the game is, so that you can understand how the game is played, so that you can make your way in the world. And that's very important. Today, with everything costing so much, college costs a lot of money. It definitely does. And a lot of people aren't cut out to go to college. And for the most part, the best thing for you is just to go out and get a job. Go out and spend 2 years or at least a year to see how the world really works. Okay? Go out and learn a trade where you can learn how things work and how you fit in, and so that you can have an opportunity to really make some money for yourself. And if you want to go to like a trade school, such as being an electrician, a plumber, or some type of bricklayer, those people, they making bank. I'm serious, and they don't have a degree. I mean, these people, they making at least 120,000 a year. If you have that skill, and within 4 or 5 years, you can be making 60, 70, even $80 an hour. And I'm not sure college, you're gonna fare very well with that. And then they're gonna, if they want you to get some degree where it don't pay. I got a doctorate in basket weaving. Okay, when are we gonna need a basket weaver? Not today, not tomorrow. So you just spent $100,000 to show me that how to be basket weaver. That's not going to be important for us. But if you go to school and become trade school, and become um, you know bricklayer, or plumber, or electrician, or something like that, um, computer designer, and you can get paid. Definitely, definitely. So the days of going to college for 4 years and getting that is not going to work. No, no. But make sure you understand how the world works, young people. Stay away from drugs. Drugs is the epitome. Um, Drugs are for losers, definitely. Um, I, I was young. I was young once, and and I did experiment, but I knew that for one thing, I didn't have a lot of money. So how am I going to have a cocaine addiction if I didn't have any money, and I wasn't going to stay with anybody because that's not what I do. Uh, I I remember going to school and I worked my way through school. I at various things when I was at University of Maryland. I worked my way through. I also had college loans too, and I paid my loans back, and in the process of getting paid back. Um, so if you want the desire to be uh, whatever, you got to put your money down too. You know, um, I told my son, he wants to go to medical school. And he wants to do this, that, and the other, and he did apply to the United States Naval Academy. However, he was unsuccessful to get in. He did get on a waiting list for one of the prep schools for the Naval Academy. But he understands what it is to to go and try to pay for college. Because college is expensive. My son, he has his own car, and he saved his car since he was age 6. I told him, I said, "You work for me, and I'm not going to pay for your car. Okay, so you're going to have to pay for your own car." And I'm going to do a video on that. And he went out and he saved. He worked for a couple of years, and he worked at the school, his elementary school, and then also family members, gave him gifts and that gave some money, and he was able to save up enough money to purchase a used 2013 Camry, which he owned and has, and he's had accidents. That's another story. That's another story. But he was able to save up, and he has his own car, and he's able to go to work and come back. He's able to um, know what it is to put money into the car. He even pays his own car insurance too, and that gives him. Uh, he sees how the world works now, you know. But he still, but sometimes, how kids work. I don't think it's working. He sees that it takes money to do things. And one time, I was at his uncle's house, and his uncle asked him, "So where's my food at?" And he said, "Well, I don't know where that." "Well, you should have brought me some food." He said, "Well, I don't have any adult money." I said, "Adult money? What's adult money?" He said, "Well, that's the money that you got." Talking to his uncle, because he's an adult and he's a kid or a teenager. And I said, "Hold up, hold up, okay? You got to understand something, okay? You are not a kid anymore, okay? You are an adult, okay? You can't go between adult and kid, adult and kid. You can't do that anymore. Nope, because that doesn't work. So all your money now is adult money. Because I'm gonna treat you. Yeah, I'm gonna treat you like an adult. But if you want to be treated like a kid, that's fine. Okay, then I'll take all the stuff from you, and then I'll just control you." But see, that's the thing. Kids don't think that way. Because they haven't gotten it together yet and how things work. But granted, I give them that. 'Cause like I said, I was that age. And I was thinking stupid sometimes too. I didn't have. I thought I had all the answers, and I don't. Okay, and I'm a work in progress. Um, and what we try to do is try to give our kids the wisdom that we thought we had. But and today is my mom's birthday, and she will be, I think, 88 if she's living. But I'm just going to say, happy birthday, mom. But they did the best that they could for us. I mean, they didn't. When we acted a fool, we had to pay the consequences. But but the wisdom, was there. It's just that we weren't thinking. But I see the wisdom now. But see, I got the wisdom from them, you know. And my rabbi, he said this is ancient Jewish wisdom, and it goes down for 2,000 years. So I said I'm going to use that, because um, I know what I need to do. But the thing is, if people have already existed this 2,000 years ago, why am I going to try to reinvent the wheel? It don't make sense. So that's what I try to impart to my son, but he don't want to hear it. That's okay. That's okay. I did the same thing too. I'm not gonna force you to do anything you don't want to do, okay? Because you're pretty much practically adult. So you're just gonna have to have the lumps just like I had. See, I got this one right here, I got this one right here, and I got this one right here. Those it's called growing pains, okay? And I'm trying to tell you what you shouldn't do, but that's what happens. So going back to the speech, I would tell try to stay away from drugs as much as possible you can. Um, as far as touching sex, um, wear a condom. Um, but the thing is that I wish I would have had this little bit of advice when I was his age. I would have got married a lot earlier. I should have got married a lot earlier when I was maybe 25, 26 years old. Um, um, because I was able to do a lot more things, and and I had a lot more mobility as opposed to when I got older. I'm slowing down a little bit, and but I've accomplished stuff. But the thing is that the best thing is to start having your children when you're young, so that you can really enjoy going into the role of grandfather and that kind of thing. I don't have any grandchildren yet, but if I would have started a little earlier, I guess I would have, but I don't have. So, but I'm going to be blessed what I got anyway. But that would have been good. So I say, I wish I would have, but I didn't. But yeah, anyway, as far as financially situations, okay, I'm going to show you a graphic, and then we're going to talk about this. Okay, here we go. Yeah, the test speeder is definitely me, and the bear is your bills or all the other stuff that you have to deal with. And in life, that's what it is. You're constantly in a war, and you always got to pay your bills. Okay, you try to do as much or as best you can, but the thing is that you got to make sure that um, your finances are strong. Um, Read your financial statements. Make a budget. Stay away. Stay away. Stay away from credit cards. Stay away from the lottery, the casino. Stay away from them. Okay? Don't want to do that because they suck your money away. And I know that. Um, don't get a timeshare. I did that too. Yes, I've done that too. So stay away as much as you can from doing that, and um, you know, The other thing that I'm going to say is that make sure that you stay in communication with your family, and that your family got your back, um, and also make connections with other people. I wish I would have learned this 40 years ago, but make a connection with other people, because that's a good way of connecting with people. Definitely building a good connection with other people to help grow you, but also so that you can give of yourself. Volunteer some time, or if you don't can volunteer some time, but just talk with people. That's a good way of doing things. Um, and giving. Giving is very important, and I try to do that. I had this conversation with my son. It came to another thing, um, and he was like, I don't want to give my money to the church. The church don't need money and all this other stuff. Um, all I did was talk to him. Okay, I know um, he is. I guess I had those type of things going on with me, but but those are things that he's going to have to. Those are questions that he's going to have to answer on his own. Uh, I talked to him, and we discussed this, and try to plant a seed. But he's going to have to learn those the hard way. Um, you know, I believe in giving as much as I can, and I told him that giving is very important for you as well as the other person. But he's going to have to find that out the hard way, and we'll just see where that happens. And then exercise. You got to stay in shape. Believe me, when you're 18 and everything's working and your heart is a rock, okay. But down the line, things don't turn out that way, and people start talking to you in the mind. Oh, you don't need to do that. Oh, you don't need that. Oh, you look fine. Next thing you know, you're 400 pounds. So, you know, you got to exercise. You got to keep that body fit. So, you got to make sure you exercise. This guy with a treadmill, yeah, he's working. This past week, I had my niece. She went on a trip. She's 26. She's a school teacher, and she went on vacation to LA. So we had to watch her dog, and so the dog had to be walked. So we had to do the walking with the doggy, and I think the 5 days, I think I averaged at least over 4,000 steps. I think yesterday we had 5,000. The day before that, 10,000, almost 11,000 steps. So we have been exercising. So today um, is National Yoga Day and all that sort of stuff. But I didn't exercise today. There were some things I had to do some things around the house, and I had to do. I want to do this podcast real quickly, and then I had to do some other things, trying to get some money, trying to find another job to bring income in, but make sure you get your exercise in. My blood pressure is being maintained, but still you got to make sure that you are definitely doing your exercises and making sure that you fit, and show that you can um, keep living for the next couple of years. Yeah, but I think that's pretty much it. What I would say to these graduates, to that they, if you guys want to, um, for the next 40 years, try to do as much as you can, and try to get some exercise and get a nice um, job, and make sure you understand how money works, because that's definitely going to be the thing, is making sure you know how money works and where the money goes before it's gone. So, okay. Well, um, check me out on Facebook, Thomas Johnson, or you can always see me on this podcast, or on my. You can look at my blog also, and that's You Working John, and look at the other things that I've had also that I post. So now that I know how to, trying to learn how to do these live chats now, I can incorporate more now. So I'm learning. And okay, and one thing, oh, yeah, one more thing, as Steve Jobs said, you got to keep going. You got to keep moving. Don't get yourself in a situation where you settling. When you're settling, that means you're dead. Okay, you got to keep moving. You got to keep moving. You got to keep moving. Because when you stop moving, you're dead. Okay? You got to increase your knowledge. You got to keep fighting. You got to keep moving upstream. Because that's upstream is where the fresh water is at. Downstream is where all the trash is. You got to keep climbing, swimming, stroking. You got to keep moving. You got to keep going. Um, and stay hungry. I should say, yeah, stay hungry. Um, you know, um, somebody said, have fun. Where in the Bible does anybody say fun? Can anybody? I will put this as a challenge. Where in the Bible does it says have fun? No, it doesn't. There is nowhere in the Bible that says you have fun. The Bible talks about work. The Bible talks about doing service for others. The Bible talks about doing for people. It doesn't talk about taking a day off, or, it takes about, having the Sabbath day. You rest one day and you work 6 days. There's no vacation. No. I'm gonna sit over here. take a 2-week vacation. No, you got to keep working, and I think that's gotten to me also. I had people talking to me and telling me that you're working too hard. No, I'm not working hard enough, and I'm listening to bad advice. Yes, so you gotta weigh the advice that you get, and just means test it and see if it makes sense to you. Yeah, definitely. So anyway, I've been streaming for about 33 minutes now, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. So I'll try and do another streams maybe sometime later on this weekend, so we can. And I'll try and straighten some stuff out, because like I said, this is my first long stream, and I'm trying to get a podcast with this Mac. Like I said, my son got a Mac for his godmother. God bless her. He got a Mac. He got a Mac Air, so he can leave my Mac alone. So I can be a Mac daddy. My son, he would take my Mac and he'd be gone downstairs. Oh, this, that, and the other. Then my wife uses the Mac too. The Mac is sweet. Believe me, it's a sweet computer. And I don't get a chance to use it because I have a Dell, and it's much lower. Yeah, it's lower, but I still use it. But the Mac is much smoother. It's like a Cadillac. But anyway, I really enjoyed this conversation, guys, and drop me a line if you enjoyed it. If you got any information from this, or you got anything with this, or maybe give me a topic that I can talk about. I would appreciate that too. Um, you know, um, I'm just trying to help a brother out, or to help a sister out. Yes, definitely. Oh, one other thing about having a dog. We haven't had a dog in this house for over 50 years, and we had the dog, But my niece's dog, he's a golden doodle, and cute dog. He's black, and he is trained. So get your dog trained, and she got him snipped too. So get your dog trained. It will help him definitely. Okay, all right, folks. You have a great day, and I'm gonna go downstairs and eat some salad, and then get ready to go to work. So uh, you guys take care. Peace. God bless. All right. 3, 2, 1.